Hi, this is Matt Yetter with Sherlock Home Inspections. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address is yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Monday, April 24th, 2023. The address we're inspecting today is 3915 Southeast Pine Street, Portland, Oregon, 97214. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the basement cleanout. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras in the market today. Before we begin this video inspection, it is to be noted that some of these sewer pipes made of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, and Orangeburg may be in good working order and may never have had a clogged sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspection must recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made of cast iron ABS, 3034 or HDPE pipe with appropriate fittings and couplers. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends replacing any sewer pipe that does not meet these specifications. Here we go. We are in 4-inch cast iron piping. We are running some water from the laundry room sink basin to ensure that our pipe is watertight and is going to remain watertight throughout this inspection. A little bit of marginal pitch to that area. It looks like it improves pretty quickly. Yeah, a little bit of a dip in the pipe there, but it improves real quick. Once we reach the lateral, we'll turn off the water, drain everything out, and then look at the pipe one more time in reverse. Looks like we're going to transition to like a terracotta clay tile piping here. So at 14 feet, and this is still in the yard, we're going to transition to terracotta clay tile. This piping is it's considered an outdated or an obsolete system. This type sewer piping is no longer being used, and so really probably should be considered a deferred cost item. This will most likely need to be updated in the future. Even if the pipe looks good now, probably something that's coming down the line. There's a little bit of minor root intrusion happening here. So this is kind of the thing that's pretty consistent that we see with this piping. It's a softer material, and at the joints where the two sections of pipe come together, you get this weak spot or this weaker spot. And typically the roots, and this just looks like grass roots, but the grass roots have surrounded the pipe, and they're starting to make their way into the line. So again, this line is going to need some attention at some point. So very minor, but there is a little bit of root intrusion happening. You can see off to the left-hand side at that joint too. There's some more real scraggly grass roots coming in. So there is root intrusion occurring in the pipe here. There's one kind of growing down the pipe, as you can see there. So that's the most common thing that we'll see with this older terracotta clay tile piping, is that the roots have a lot easier time finding their way in this than some of the others. Once we get to the road or the sidewalk area, we're going to transition. So it looks like the main sewer piping in the roadway has been upgraded or upgraded or modernized to plastic piping. So that's cool. But there is a section of terracotta clay tile piping through the front yard. Also, it looks like there's at least the possibility of another line tying in, maybe a neighbor tying in. It's been modernized. I can't imagine that they are still using or they're continuing to use a shared sewer pipe as they modernize this pipe. But just as precaution before closing, it would be recommended to inquire with the owners and city records and regulations to determine that this is not an active party line or shared line. In most cases, if it's sharing with a neighbor, which again I don't guarantee that it is, it might just be another access point out there in the yard for a camera or a snake or whatever. In most cases, though, it would need to be separated from a neighbor at some point. Looks like we're going to drop in on top of the sewer pipe there. This is the city lateral piping. So I'm going to turn off the water, drain everything out, look at the pipe one more time in reverse. Okay, I'm going to look at the pipe one more time in reverse with the water off. Yeah, it'd be nice to know what this is here, just to determine if it's not a shared line. I kind of don't think so, but before closing, we would recommend getting more information about that, just to make sure we're not sharing a line with a neighbor. Here's where we go back into the terracotta clay tile piping, and this is kind of a known problematic material, in that it's a softer material, and the roots have a lot easier time working their way into the joints of the seams. Like I I said, they're pretty scraggly little roots, but there are little grass shoots or roots growing in. There again at the top right hand side of the screen. So because of root intrusion and terracotta clay tile piping, I'd recommend passing the video and the report on to a drain repair specialist before closing to talk about next steps, if there's any repairs that need to be made, maintenance, whatever needs to happen. We'd recommend getting with a drain repair specialist to identify that. Also, after repairs are made, how much life expectancy can be expected in the line, or if it should be repaired, replaced, or updated now. So before closing, we'd recommend passing the video and the report on to a drain repair specialist to make suggestions for the future.